Well, I have to say, Governor, that was a great speech. And your passion and your commitment and your leadership on this issue is unparalleled. You will be the greatest governor in our lifetime to fight for women's reproductive freedom. So thank you so much, Governor, for your leadership on this. I want to recognize my colleague in Congress, Congresswoman Maloney, who has spent her career working for women's reproductive freedom. It means something, and we are grateful for your leadership. I want to recognize everyone else here standing with us, along with all the electeds that are in the audience. I've never been to an event where all the electeds are in the audience, ever. So I want to thank you. And if you want to stand up here because you want to be in the picture, please do. You are always welcome to stand in any picture ever. But it says something. It says something that every person here, every aspect of our government, our city council members to our state senators, every single elected leader in this community cares. They care about women. They care about transgender women. They care about reproductive services. They care about our basic civil rights and human rights. And that is what we're here to talk about. It is our basic human rights. It's meaningful that we are standing in this park, that we have Sojourner Truth standing behind us, or she's sitting actually, sitting behind us. And we have Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. These women were so far ahead of their time. Sojourner Truth was the first woman to recognize that there was a duality of women's rights and black rights that made the search and the struggle for black women exponentially harder. You have Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, who together decided we are going to fight for women's rights and the right to vote throughout our lifetime. They never saw that right. They did not get to see those rights. And so anytime that we as a community feel tired or dispossessed or discouraged, this is a reminder for us. You can work a lifetime, and it is worth working your lifetime, because every struggle that we have today is hopefully a struggle that our children and our children's children do not have to have. But that is where we are in America today. And the forces that want to put America's women back into history, the forces that want to deny women reproductive freedom, basic human rights to decide what they do with their bodies, when they have children, under what circumstances they will have children, and how many children they will have, are being denied to women all across this country. And it is a violation of human rights, undeniably. This Texas decision is abhorrent. I can't imagine a worse decision for women. It does three things that is shocking. First, the governor said so perfectly, 6 weeks is very early. Many young women will not know whether or not they're pregnant at 6 weeks. Second, it deputizes vigilantes to go after you. Anybody in that state has universal standing to go after you and make sure you get prosecuted if you are seeking an abortion or helping someone make a decision. So the third thing it does is it creates a right of action against anyone. You sat with your friend and talked to her about what she wants to do with her future. I can sue you. I can put you in jail. I can make you pay $10,000. It is shocking, shocking what they did in Texas. And Texas isn't alone. Texas is just the first big idea that these conservative legislators have all throughout America. We have another lawsuit that's being filed that is extremely dangerous in Mississippi. Mississippi, the Supreme Court will hear a case on the Mississippi's 15-week abortion ban that is a direct challenge to Roe v. Wade. And you have creative lawyers all across the country. The New York Times had an article about it yesterday, who have spent their lives figuring out what lawsuit, what can I file to get to the Supreme Court to eradicate women's reproductive freedom. And it's more than just this question of when you should have access to care. They want to deny women their humanity. And this is what's so frustrating. They want to make sure that women and transgender people are second-class citizens because they want to take away these fundamental decision-making capabilities. It's as simple as that. Imagine taking away 51% of the population's decision about what kind of health care to seek and when to seek it and what treatments are appropriate for you. It's unconscionable. So on the federal level, my job and Carolyn's job is to pass the Women's Health Protection Act. This would basically codify Roe v. Wade. It would tell these state legislators and governors across the country that it is not their purview to make these decisions. Now, to get that done, that is going to be very hard because we may have to have filibuster reform before we pass it in the Senate. I fully support filibuster reform to pass reproductive freedom in the U.S. Senate. We also have to continue our struggle to repeal the Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment is what makes it unfair for low-income women. So it tells people, oh, sure, you still have abortion protections, but not if you don't have the money for it, not if you don't have the resources, not if you don't have the ability to pay. And that's what's so unconstitutional about the Hyde Amendment. It determines who has access based on how much money you have. And so our job in the Senate and the House is to make sure we repeal Hyde. And last, our job is to lift up your voices, to make sure that every single person here who cares deeply about these rights can be heard. And we will, every single one of us here, not stop fighting until every person has the freedom to make the decisions she wants for her future. It's about our bodies, it's about our liberty, it's about our civil rights, and it is about our fundamental human rights. Yeah.